And police now expecting to bring criminal charges up against the surviving gunman behind the terror attack at Bondi Beach. At least 15 people are dead, with dozens more injured. One of those hospitalized is a bystander, and now a hero, who disarmed one of the gunmen. And you can see him running up to the attacker just before and wresting the gun from his hands. The bystander then points the weapon at the suspected shooter and throws an object at him before he finally walks away. Donations have been pouring in for the hero throughout his recovery from surgery.
It pours fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Anti-Semitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent and you must replace weakness with action.
So the Israeli Prime Minister says he gave a warning to the Australian government to do something about what's been happening over the past year and a half, 2 years. We'll take a look at it right here. On the screen, this is Melbourne. A year ago in December, a synagogue was hit with arson, set on fire. The following month in Sydney, this is January, a synagogue was vandalized. There's swastikas painted on the buildings here that have been blurred out. Also in Sydney, same month, cars set on fire. Also in Sydney here, a child care center was defaced. That was in January 21st of last year. Then back in Melbourne in July, an arson attack on Shabbat at a synagogue in Melbourne. And then we had the horrific events of Sydney, Australia yesterday in Bondi Beach. I want to bring in Dan Senor. We talked to Dan a lot about these issues for a long time now. He's got a great podcast. And Dan, welcome back to our broadcast here today.
Good to be with you.
We were looking at Bret Stephens' opinion piece in the New York Times earlier today. Go ahead and share it with our viewers. Bondi Beach is what globalized the Intifada looks like. That's what he writes. For many of those who chant those lines, they may seem like abstractions and metaphors, but there are always literalists. On Sunday, those consequences were written in Jewish blood. History tells us that it won't be the last time, end quote.
Yeah, look, I think that when we get into these debates about where responsibility lies, and ultimately responsibility lies with the actual perpetrators, what we've seen in Australia, and not only in Australia, we've seen this in countries around the world since October 7th, if you have a very permissive attitude to certain rhetoric and incitement, it's not surprising that you get more of it. And there has been incredible incitement that has not been shut down. I had one Australian journalist on my podcast this morning who said, look, we know in Australia what it looks like when the government wants to shut something down. We saw an extreme version of it during COVID, right? You walked a few steps too far out of your home or your neighborhood, you got hit with like a $5,000 fine. The government sent a message, which was a little extreme, that they on COVID, that they were going to just have zero tolerance for certain actions. And on anti-Semitism, they have not had zero tolerance. Second, I think it's important to say that when like the mayor-elect in this city, New York City, says, it's not language I would use. Globalized Intifada is not language I would use. People read between the lines. They hear what they want to hear. And the message, like that would be like saying in the South, if a KKK group marched in front of a black church saying the South will rise again, a KKK sympathetic group. And a leader in the South said, well, it's not the language I would use. Of course not. You would say I have zero tolerance. That rhetoric is incitement.
The call for number 3 shows the increase of anti-Jewish incidents in Australia, up 234%. What do you say to people who would say in Australia they must need stricter gun control laws? They have the strictest gun control laws.
Yeah, look, obviously gun violence is its own issue, but what we have been seeing is this tolerance for incitement that leads to violence. And in some cases, we've seen people use guns, tragically. We've seen them use, other weapons to harass and vandalize and disrupt Jewish life. So this is not an issue of guns.
Okay.
When Albanese and some others, I believe it was the month of August or around that time, when they made a decision to recognize a Palestinian state, Netanyahu said, you do that, you're just going to encourage more of the same. What did you think at that time?
I had the same reaction for the following reason. At the time that Albanese recognized the Palestinian state, Hamas was still in charge of most of Gaza. Israeli hostages were still being held captive in the tunnels of Gaza. The message that the Australian government was sending was, it's not that Hamas was an obstacle to a Palestinian state, but that Hamas was midwifing a Palestinian state, because it was so incredibly ghoulish, this idea that Hamas could be holding Jews captive while the Australian government was saying, we will recognize your actions on October 7th, your atrocities, as the launch of Palestinian Independence Day. So again, it reinforces, it's not just permissive language, it's rewarding it.
Point being, you can't reward Hamas
Right.
with that. Also, France, Britain, and Canada did the same thing at the same time.
Oh yeah, a lot of countries did.
And what they wanted was a ceasefire. So we have a ceasefire. But on your podcast, Call Me Back, which I recommend to everybody, one of your guests talked about an intelligence report that is out there saying that there is a state actor who is suggesting to globalize the Intifada and perhaps helping them do that. So then can our intelligence help prevent more of it?
Well, look, so it's Nadav Ayel, who's an Israeli journalist, who's a regular contributor to my podcast, and he got some briefings from the defense establishment in Israel, where they say, look, these are state actors that are orchestrating this campaign. It's not happening organically. We like to believe that all this is happening organically and it spirals out of control. There's something bigger going on. Spend enough time on social media, you can see this is not organic. And so, yes, this is something I think the U.S. government is going to have to get engaged in, because ultimately what starts with the Jews never ends with the Jews.
Dan, thank you.
Can I just make one other point? You mentioned the GoFundMe for that incredible hero who really saved lives. I also want to encourage your viewers to look at Chabad.org, which was the Jewish organization that organized this 1,000-person Hanukkah celebration on the Bondi Beach that ultimately ended in slaughter. This is a community that is on the front lines of Jewish engagement around the world. Tragically, we've seen an increasing trend where their leaders, the rabbis, like two of them in Australia, get killed. They're on the front lines of Jewish engagement, now increasingly of Jewish defense. They're incredible people. So I encourage them.
Can you spell it for everybody?
Chabad, CHABAD.org. I've been posting about them on X and on Instagram. They're real spiritual heroes and now actual real life heroes on the front lines of these communities.
Thanks for coming in, Dan.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.